change then in the mid-90s, even for like, you know, the drum and bass thing. Initially it used to be all these guys playing together and stuff, and then it went to, you know, like, I'm not going to play unless I get, you know, such and such X amount.
And it definitely went from being something that was about a UK, well, let's say a scene. Back in the day, you could say like it was pretty compartmentalised, the black scene, the white scene, the soul scene. But I learned from my older cousins that the UK soul scene kind of killed that whole, well, this is a black cub, white cub thing, because you'd go to all dayers and weekenders that would be full of every race in the world, so they'd all be dancing to black people's music. So it wasn't, you know, I never went through a period where I went to black only things, but I do remember going to things where it was black people in there, a lot of them, but there was one or two of somebody else. Now if you go to a modern roots and culture dance, it's like United Nations in there. I mean, literally, I mean, you know, it literally is. There's no doubt that things are totally across the board now. You can go and listen to what you want where you want. I think back in the day when things started for the generation above us, it wasn't like that. There's certain places you couldn't go. There were certain clubs you couldn't go to, areas you wouldn't want to be seen in at 1 in the morning. Me, by the time I came through, I had the attitude where, you see me, I'm going anywhere I want to play anything I want because I can. You know, and I just had that mentality from when I was being brought up.
But I mean, we still have that same mentality on playing on net and stuff, because obviously those net shows, you know, initially they were billed as a drum and bass show, but then I think when we started playing, we went everywhere. We played from reggae to jazz to drum and bass to soul to all over the place, and I think that's how it should be. You know, you shouldn't have.
I think the internet definitely empowered us as a generation, because I could be a reggae DJ, and I do a reggae show on a Wednesday night on Resonance FM. But back in the day, I've done UK Rumble, done Interface. We've done all these things.
And my own sessions, don't forget.
And the stage 4 sessions that we did were legendary, because you know, I could start off with Billie Holiday or John Coltrane, and I could finish Talib Kweli. As far as I'm concerned, it's a beautiful set. That's an hour. You know, like it goes from jazz right up there to wordplay. You know, and everything in between. And there's no one saying to you, well, why are you doing that? You can't do that.
That's a good thing about it. I mean, what do you think then about the scene in 2008 then? I mean, I think black music.
I think black as a black music, I don't think there is any sort. It's a bit like the Mobos. I don't see any point in sort of prefacing it with the black music thing, because all music you hear came from a black source anyway. So you don't have to sort of preface it by going black music. You just sort of say music. And you look at the person who's making it or singing it and you go, well, it's still music. And I spent this afternoon watching Justin Timberlake in concert in New York on TV, and I was just watching it going, well, you know what, if you looked away you wouldn't have a clue. You just wouldn't have a clue what you're listening to. You wouldn't know if, well, and with that falsetto voice, it could be a woman half the time, so you wouldn't know if it's black or white. I mean, really, it's just at this point now where this music is so smooth and it's so cool, it's so nice, that there's nothing about it that sort of says it's a black music or it's a white music. I think really it's just music, and if you're sensible, you kind of know where all music came from. So you don't have to reinforce it. I don't have to reinforce it every single day of my life, because you don't know. And everybody knows, and it's accepted. And look what rap's done. I mean, rap's become pop. So how does that work? You know, because rap music was meant to be a small slice of black American life. You know, it wasn't even a culture, it was a slice of life. It was talking about what was happening to you. You were poor, things weren't going your way, and you had skills. And with them minuscule skills you had, you can make yourself into a trillionaire. That's what rap's about. You could, you know, it's not about anything else. And it's gone from that now. And the marketing people have got hold of it, the advertising people have got hold of it, and now it's repackaged to you as it is everyday music. It's on the back of an advert for chicken. It sells you, no, really, it sells you a car. It sells you a car. The beats. I mean, if you're a beats person, if you're into beats and you're into like, you know what's happening when you're listening to a Sainsbury's advert and you hear, you go, wow, someone's built that for them, and that's fat. But it's on a chicken advert. Something that, you know, but it touches you. So you know, so somewhere along the line, this music's being built and it's aimed specifically. I've heard the resurgence of reggae as well. Last Christmas, there was a Sainsbury's advert where the woman was dancing with a chicken, and she was dancing the chicken to some tune, and the guy who I play music with, Michael, played it the next week on our show. And I was just amazed. I said, it didn't register to me that I was listening to old school dub behind the Sainsbury's chicken advert at Christmas. So where are we? Where are we when Sainsbury's commission and pay royalties on a dub tune to sell you chicken at Christmas?
Yeah, I suppose so. Because I mean, this thing with, like, you know, where music came from and who did this, you know, you get the crossover artists like, you know, like Joan Armatrading and Tracy Chapman and stuff.
Yeah, they go into a so-called rocky world, don't they?
Exactly, and also, you know, obviously, you know, you've got like you've got the guitarists like the Hendrix, and I mean that appeal to not just one type of people. So I guess at the end of the day, it's you know, certain aspects are picked out for certain types of music. Like obviously the hip hop guy will he's picked some of the samples from his really obscure tunes and stuff, but
it's true, isn't it?
And now it's just
I think that the hip hop thing had a long lasting effect. That and the Jamaican MC thing, because that's how we end up with grime, don't we? We end up today with like youth spitting lyrics. Honestly, if you're not of that era, you can't work out what they're saying. But if you just really, if you focus on it, all you'll hear is pain. All you'll hear is pain. That's all they're spitting out there. How they will defend themselves against you inflicting pain on them. They will defend themselves by putting holes in your hips. They will defend themselves by rolling you over in their car. Hey, drive by on their scooter and take you out. This is what. So, I mean, knows what I'm talking. What I'm saying is the grime thing is just like it's a pain thing. But if you listen to the mechanics of grime, what is it? It's like listening to Iroy, or it's like listening to KRS-One, or listening to these people that kind of, you know, they're trying to tell you something, but they're telling you something in a style that you don't really get. And if you don't really get it, you're not gonna want to listen. But if you take time to listen, you'll find it's the same story as what's going on Marvin Gaye. It's the same story. You know, they're under pressure. And they don't know what to do with the pressure, and they turn into spitting rhymes and lyrics and and putting on these little venues. But even the people that go there are all hyped up. Counteract that with what we were listening to back in the day. When you go to a dance, you're chilled out.
That's very true.
Yeah. You're chilled out, but now you're kind of walking in there with the pressure that must be on the street, and it is hard. And I think that there's still a way out, because it's a cyclical thing. This happens all the time. You know, the pressure cooker builds up, then it explodes, and then there's this wasteland afterwards, and you kind of have to pick yourself up and work out what's going on. And that's what the UK music thing has done now.
What about the future then? What would you say? Where is it going to go?
The future's with the youth. It's always been the same. The future is the youth.
You know, when you chilled out youth, then you want to get some chilled.
You're going to have the youth that you built. You're going to have the youth that you raised. You're going to have the youth you can have them. You're just going to have what's there. You know, you're just going to have what's there, and there isn't much you can do about it apart from have an alternative view of things available to them. If you don't have any other alternative view, then they're just going to carry on going in the same old. But you give them some other angle. You can't save everyone. Your job's not to save everybody. Your job is just to kind of love music, spread love and all that sort of thing. And you'll find that you can change people's minds, which is what's happened to all of us, I think. Because we all kind of think we knew about something 20 years ago, and our minds have been changed. You know, we're kind of living it now.